the fact that you got several people in the Hall of Fame that before other people shows it's not a true Hall of Fame. The fact that personal opinions, if Vince didn't like you, you're not in the Hall of Fame. So that's not a true, to me, that's not a true Hall of Fame. There's a lot of people who are not in the Hall of Fame because Vince had an issue with them. Will that change with Triple H under the reign? I doubt it. But like the fact that even though it's celebrities or whatever, they're in the Hall of Fame. The fact that Pete Rose, Snoop Dogg, some of these people are in the Wrestling Hall of Fame, where you got guys. Let me say who's a guy. How many? What did they even put Sid Vicious in the Hall of Fame?
Well, no, he actually disputed about that too.
Yeah, he actually made a tweet, not a tweet, but he had a video where he talked about him wanting to be in the Hall of Fame, and hopefully that since there was a change of the guard where Vince McMahon is no longer in WWE, then the WWE new corporation would be able to induct him into the Hall of Fame. And unfortunately, we just lost Psycho Sid or Sid Vicious recently, man, and we want to send our condolences to him and his family. Fly High, my friend. I was a big Sid Vicious, Psycho Sid fan, and I loved his powerbomb, and I loved the things that he did for the business. And I was hoping that he was going to be in the Hall of Fame one day, but we didn't get an opportunity to see that. And so hopefully WWE makes the right call, man, and tries to put him in the Hall of Fame. But I think that he absolutely deserves it. He is a star. And now that he's passed on, I hope that WWE not only puts Sid Vicious in the WWE Hall of Fame, but also just to make some other acknowledgments of some people right before they go. You know what I'm saying? Like I know a lot of people wouldn't want to be in the Hall of Fame after they died. They don't get the opportunity to get their flowers while they're still alive. That's why I'm happy that they gave Thunderbolt Patterson his flowers before, you know, saying he transitions or whoever our stars are. But I think that the WWE moving forward probably should extend the Hall of Fame class to more participants, or just, you know, just make it so that our legends that are passing. You know, man, we just lost Sika and Alpha of the
Wild Samoans.
The Wild Samoans. We just lost Kevin Sullivan. A couple of other legends that passed away recently. It seems like every month now we're losing our legends. We're losing the people that we used to watch. We done lost Hulk Hogan a long time ago. He crazy as hell. He up here threatening the body slam Kamala Harris. He is gone. He's dead to the black community. I tell you that much.
I hate Hulk Hogan, and this sounds so bad. Like you know how many times I watched No Holds Barred? That movie's like one of my favorite movies. But to see him now, to see his true self, it really hurts. It really hurts, man, to say fuck Hulk Hogan, and I mean it. like if I were to see him in person, I wouldn't give a damn. Like I wouldn't even front. That ain't not even a mention that when he fired that black girl not too long ago. I don't know if y'all was keeping up with that black girl he fired when he found out this she's supposed to be representing. He found out she was black, and then he got rid of her. Whatever. Like, yo, what the hell?
So I gotta explain that story for context. So Hogan was unveiling a new beer line. I believe it was American or All American, something like that. So he was unveiling a new beer line, and they were doing promotions from town to town. And so they would hire models or spokesmodels to come and promote the beer. And I think that there was a roster of people that he looked at, and one of the young ladies just so happened to be a woman of color, and she felt like she was discriminated against because when Hogan saw her picture, he let them know that he didn't want her as part of his promotion. And so she had an issue with that. She took to social media, and now we have this story of what we're talking about where Hogan don't like black women or something like that. I ain't say it, but that's what the media is saying. You know what I'm saying?
No color chicks, brother. No color chicks.
Oh man, I know. I know Hulk Hogan done swam in some Cocoa Puffs before. You know what I'm saying? Trying to act like he hasn't, but you know it is what it is. But yeah, he done lost his mind. But off the Hulkster, I think that WWE probably should extend at least for 2 more spots for their Hall of Fame spots to just give certain people like Bray Wyatt. I think that Bray Wyatt 100% belongs in the Hall of Fame.
I mean, yeah, he does. I'm gonna say something that's gonna be a little bit, and maybe people might not like what I'm about to say.
Watch your mouth. I don't know what you're about to say, but watch your mouth.
Bray Wyatt deserves it, but Bray Wyatt didn't get a chance to really earn it. He deserves it, but Bray Wyatt did great things, but it's so hard to say it without people taking it the wrong way. Bray Wyatt,
you take it. It ain't no way to take it.
Bray, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to be in it. Does he deserve to be in it right now? No, because there's way too many people that have been neglected. We literally just said it. Sid Vicious should have been in it a long time ago, but because Vince had issues with him, you don't put him in there. You put what's the black girl that got in there? Alicia Fox. Alicia Fox is in it. Some people's why ain't Jazz in it? You know what I'm saying? Like the way they do it just doesn't make sense. So don't take it wrong. Don't think I'm saying Bray Wyatt doesn't deserve it. He does. But I don't want to see him get in it this year, or give him a little bit time, even though I know he passed. Don't rush it because he's passed. Put him in there organically like you would have put him in there, because you got, just like you said, I would like to see, I don't want to see Sid Vicious get in it now after he had to campaign about it and then he died. So that's a pity. You put him in now, it's kind of like, oh, we got to put him in there now. The man earned it a long time ago. Like, who should be in it, who ain't in it? What's your boy? Matter of fact, I don't know if you know this, Roosevelt. He was actually from Goldsboro. Big Mabel, Viscera, Big. I mean, he wasn't the best wrestler in the ring, but dude was there for Big Mabel for a good long time. He not even in it. They didn't even really.
Men on a mission, period, needs to be in it. And Sermo is still alive and kicking and doing very well. In fact, I'm going to see him next week. Men on a Mission altogether should be in the Hall of Fame. They were a very good tag team, and the stories that I've heard from Uncle Mo astonishes me, from the things that they were willing to do for the sake of still being able to be employed by the WWE when they were there. Let's not forget the Doink. They went in as one of the Doinks. That was an iconic match. That mean you cannot forget about that match right there, because those guys went in there and they pulled it off. You really believe that they were Doinks, even though you knew they were Mo and Mabel, but you felt like they were an extension of Doink. And Doink the Clown is another one that I feel like needs to go into the Hall of Fame. That's not in there yet.
Yeah, so that's why I've always had a beef with the Hall of Fame, because I just felt like it's the Hall of Fame for people that you like. So I always felt like they needed an outside Hall of Fame that really was like ESPN or something like that. Which of course they would never have done it, but they should have had a Hall of Fame, or what's that main wrestling magazine people used to read all the time? I can't think of the name of it.
Pro Wrestling Illustrated.
Yeah. I think that was the one that's been around forever, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, like they should have had one, and an unbiased one. Therefore, it's not only WWE wrestlers. We got an NBA Hall of Fame, so everybody from the NBA whoever deserves it will be in there. Right. You got a WWE Hall of Fame. So what about Jay Lethal? Does Jay Lethal not deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? He's not a WWE guy, so he won't be in them. People want to talk about Hall of Fames, you only talk about WWE. If there are other Hall of Fames, they don't get no love like that. So we need a main Hall of Fame for guys that's not.
Okay. I think you should have led with that one first.
I think you should have led. Not just the WWE Hall of Fame, a whole pro wrestling Hall of Fame all together. Yeah, we were with you, but we was kind of like on the next lane trying to figure out where the hell. You try to get to the exit, you kept missing it. So we got you there.
Yeah, you had a tire that was flat and on fire. We were just looking at it to make sure it was gonna make it to the next leg. I agree with you on that standpoint. I think that they should, and I think they do have organizations where they have Hall of Fame inductees, but I know a lot of promotions have their own version of the Hall of Fame. But I know what you're saying. There would have to be a governing body to be able to do that, though. And I don't know who would we trust enough to have that insight to be able to put some people in the Hall of Fame for wrestling in general. You know what I'm saying?
You would have to look at who actually runs all these companies now, because everyone that started off is dead. Let's be honest. You know, everyone else that's pretty much started off the professional wrestling industry is all pretty much gone. So you have to talk to the ones that are running it now and have them come together like a United Nations type of thing and sit down and say, okay, this is who I nominate to go into the Hall of Fame, and this is why. And I honestly, it shouldn't even be the voting situation. I think if you got people from every region of the world where professional wrestling is prominent, like I'm talking about the territories of the AWA, the NWA, Memphis Wrestling, New Japan, Canadian Wrestling, everyone should come in and say, this is my person I'm selecting for this year. You know what I mean? And it needs to be a situation where they say, like you got to be, but it kind of gives a hard situation because you got to be very selective because a lot of these guys wrestled for the other companies. So like Canada couldn't say Bret Hart because WWE's like, well, we already got Bret Hart. Now you know, what are you going to do now? But if you're doing it as a professional wrestling Hall of Fame, then yes, you can do Bret Hart because now it is a world thing and not just a WWE thing. So I definitely feel LP on that. But yeah, I think if we did that, that would be bigger than just a WWE thing. So, like you said, some of the guys don't even care about being in the Hall of Fame. They're just like, okay, I got a nice little 14-karat gold ring, and the color come off after about 5 to 10 years. So let's put in my.
I don't care what nobody say. If somebody that's been wrestling for a long time in any company, if they say they don't want to be in the Hall of Fame, they lying. Because if you're doing it, you want to become immortal. You want to become remembered. That's why you wrestle as a character to entertain, but you also want to be remembered. So it's cool if people remember you, but when organizations say they acknowledge you and acknowledge your presence and put you down in the pantheons of wrestling elite by honoring you to be in a Hall of Fame, I don't know no wrestler that does it. That doesn't like right now. The promotions that you've wrestled for, if they all had Hall of Fames, would you not want to be in it? I don't care how big or small it is.
Yeah, definitely. But here's the thing. How many of these guys got into the Hall of Fame after the fact that a lot of these companies don't even like them or didn't really rock with them? Like, let's think about it. Like, Ultimate Warrior had a big problem with WWE, and they inducted him in the Hall of Fame anyway. So it's like,
see, but that's why you need to do it.
They inducted him after he passed, right? So that's where the situation comes in. Is like, all right, are you really inducting me because you really appreciated my work, or are you just doing it because you want to shut people up?
I mean, I think as long as you in there, nobody ain't gonna remember the reasoning around when they happened. As long as you in there, I think that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? As long as you in there, like that's just like going to school for 4 years and not being in the yearbook. You know what I'm saying? I want to be in the damn yearbook. Listen, my senior year, I made sure I was in the yearbook. I took a yearbook class. I was a photographer. I wrote poems. I did everything. I took pictures of all my friends. I was like, they gonna remember me. And straight up, they gonna remember me.
It's the timing that's the issue. You know, you like LP say, you don't want to put these guys in the Hall of Fame after they pass. Give them their flowers while they're still here, so that way you can know they were appreciated before they died. You know, y'all should
have an Indies Hall of Fame. You deserve to be in the Hall of Fame eventually if you decide to give it up. All the shit you done, like that. Maybe you could start. Maybe give some people, and it needs to be. You have to find a balance where it's not bias or whatever. Just like you said, that's probably the hardest part. But there's probably a lot of wrestlers that we don't know that you know that are considered indie or been indie for, they might be indie for 20 years. They still deserve that recognition. So yeah, it should be. That's why I said
we do have that on the independents. A lot of the companies, they do like Hall of Fame shows, and a lot of them do it. I hate when they do it like this, but they do it around the same time everyone else does a show. When WWE has their Hall of Fame, hey, you come into the ABC Hall of Fame inducting show, and it was like, oh, come on now, like do it on a different time when you have all eyes on you. You're not trying to feed off of someone else's plate. The Memphis Wrestling Hall of Fame just happened, or getting ready to happen pretty soon, and Sir Mo is getting inducted. Ricky Morton just got inducted to a Tennessee Hall of Fame. So it's a lot of different smaller scale independent Hall of Fames that happen. And as you said, LP, it does have to be unbiased to where people can say, you know what, I understand why this individual was inducted into the Hall of Fame, rather than that was my boy and I loved him,
Right.
Like the fans should be able to have some kind of say. So I'm like, yeah, I can understand why such and such was inducted into this Hall of Fame.
I think you deserve to be in the Indies Hall of Fame. Just for this alone, you deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Jessica Lashley deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
How much is it a ticket to Arizona?
it ain't that expensive. Why you want to come? Why you want to come?
Huh? I know a brand new daddy whose ass I need to kick.
Oh man, hopefully it ain't me. I don't know.
I'm gonna take you to the gym. Don't even worry about it. I'm just gonna take you. I'm just gonna beat you up.
That's even worse. I'd rather you just fight me. I just take my lumps. I take my lumps rather than do them insane, crazy ass workouts you be doing. I'd rather go ahead and take my lumps, Jack. Oh man. Well, I think that Sid Vicious, or Psycho Sid, does deserve to be in the WWE Hall of Fame. And hopefully they hear the fans and try to do something about that and make those corrections, man. I know it's a lot of people that deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, but I know we're talking about this because Daniel Bryan mentioned that he didn't care if he was in the WWE Hall of Fame or not. Hey, he lying, but it's okay. It's okay. If you happy doing what you're doing, if you're happy where you are, that's fine. But you telling me that all that work you put in, all those fans you made, all of that blood, sweat, tears, your championship run and all that, you don't want to be in the Hall of Fame?
I think he might be telling the truth, and I'm gonna tell you why. They have these little local award shows around here, right? Mm-hmm. So they'll have model of the year, photographer of the year, blah, blah, blah. And they're all based on how many people you get to vote for you. You don't win based by your merits. You win by base. So I be seeing people win model of the year that I know ain't did shit. But I see photographer of the year that I know ain't worth a damn. So I don't get upset about it because, first of all, I wouldn't even get nominated in half the shit. I just be seeing it like, what? So I don't get upset about it because I know it's not a true award show based on the merits. Daniel Bryan probably feel the same way. You could say WWE Hall of Fame is whatever, but it's not. Just like we just said for the past 20 minutes, it's not really based on your skills and what you've done. So Daniel Bryan probably don't give a damn about being in that Hall of Fame. He probably, I think they get a little legend deal, get them little checks or whatever. But like other than that, like is D'Lo Brown? I know Godfather's in the Hall of Fame, but is D'Lo Brown in the Hall of Fame? I don't think so. Is he?
I don't think so.
That's a damn shame. D'Lo Brown was one of my favorite wrestlers, man.
Just because D'Lo Brown should be in the Hall of Fame. Just because he ain't. I think they got draws in the Hall of Fame. I think they put draws in the Hall of Fame. And they only put him in the Hall of Fame because he got his neck broke. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck now. Draws. Why would draws be in the Hall of Fame?
Because the Headbangers were a great group.
Don't you try.
The Headbangers were a great tag team.
Don't you look? I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna call bullshit on it. Because again, now mind you guys, I'm rewatching Raw, so I've already seen the Headbangers. People was not feeling the Headbangers like that, and then they split up. And then one of them was with D'Lo Brown one time. He was with D'Lo Brown, and the Sultan guy had the hat on. Like, I literally watched the other night. D'Lo Brown had a match with Triple H where they had the mask. It was a Vegas match when Eric Bischoff took over Raw. He did all the Vegas matches, and he had a wrestle Triple H. I think D'Lo Brown, after the chest protector and after the whole Nation shit, D'Lo really didn't have much of a character. He was just floating around, became a journeyman. He didn't have a character outside of doing this. So that may be the reason.
That was my favorite shit. Just the D'Lo Brown hair shit. You know what I'm saying? I walk like that around the house.
Every member, if I ain't mistaken, with the exception of Ahmed Johnson, the Nations of the Domination, they in it.
Nope.
Mark Henry's in it. Mark Henry's in the Hall of Fame.
Mark Henry,
Godfather,
and Ron Simmons are only three.
Who else is there? Damn well the Rock.
Hold on, the Rock ain't in the Hall of Fame.
D'Lo Brown are the only two that's not in the Hall of Fame.
Really?
Yeah.
I
just looked it up. The Rock and then I guess do we count Savio Vega?
No, because we ain't gonna count.
What was Savio Vega part of the Nation of Domination?
He was part of the Nation of Domination at one point.
The early days before they split off.
Yeah.
When he was with the Nation had Owen Hart.
They had them white boys in there. They had chains and all them. Then they split up. Owen Hart was in the Nation. Let's not count that. let's not count that. Everybody, the Rock is going to be in the Hall of Fame. So once the Rock is on the Hall of Fame, everybody from there. I always feel like they're still punishing D'Lo, even though dude didn't blame him for that. They still punishing D'Lo. Like D'Lo not gonna be in the Hall of Fame, or he would already been in there. They're not gonna announce D'Lo Brown this year being in the Hall of Fame. He's not gonna be in it.
I'm gonna say this, and if you think about the similarities between the two wrestlers, it'll make sense for some people, and then other people gonna start scratching their head. They're gonna be like, Brown Renegade, what are you talking about? I think that D'Lo Brown is the black version of Owen Hart.
Was he a technical wrestler? No, D'Lo wasn't no technical wrestler.
D'Lo was technical.
No, he wasn't no technical
wrestler. D'Lo Brown. If you go back and you listen to wrestlers talk about D'Lo Brown and how he used to wrestle, D'Lo Brown was highly praised for his in-ring ability, for his in-ring talent, and for his wrestling skills. D'Lo Brown, and I'm saying this because I was a D'Lo Brown fan. And this was D'Lo wrestled at a time where there were a lot of technical wrestlers at that particular time in the WWE. You guys don't, huh?
But did he do it on TV?
Did he do it?
I don't remember his technical prowess on TV.
I don't remember. I would not consider him Benoit technical, Owen Hart technical, Bret Hart technical. I'm not gonna throw D'Lo Brown. D'Lo Brown was a great wrestler. I think D'Lo. I wouldn't call Eddie Guerrero a technical wrestler. I would put him more on the Eddie Guerrero side to me, because he was definitely a high flyer. His frog splash arguably is the best. You can always debate it. Anybody can argue. You can go either way, but he's in the conversation. One of the best frog splashes. Yeah, he was the best wrestler in the nation outside of The Rock.
The Rock.
I think D'Lo was a better wrestler.
D'Lo was the best wrestler.
Yeah, D'Lo, out of all of them, D'Lo was the better wrestler, and that's why I say
character. The Rock had character and charisma. Farouk had political in
Farouk was scary.
Yeah.
Farouk was scary.
No nonsense.
I just looked it up. Owen Hart is not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I said that. You remember? That's what I said. That's what I said when I got people on hard. Cause they won't let the family don't want him to be in there. That's been a thing for a minute.
Yeah, that's
the fans want him, but his wife, if I ain't mistaken, his wife has said no.
But then that goes back to what you said. You know what we were saying earlier. Not everybody wants to be in there, and your family don't want you to be in there.
Does Chris Benoit deserve to be in the Hall of Fame?
Okay, so I'm saying for wrestling, yes. Does he deserve to be in heaven? That ain't the question for me. You know what I'm saying? You gotta ask your pastor that. You know what I'm saying? But does he deserve to be in the Wrestling Hall of Fame? I think so. You know what I'm saying? I thoroughly enjoyed Chris Benoit while he was wrestling. He made the crippling crossface famous, and I've seen other people do it, and it just looked horrible. It don't have the same effect of when Chris Benoit used to do it. I was a Chris Benoit fan. It was absolutely horrible that this man went crazy and killed his wife and his kids and himself.
Allegedly.
No, that's allegedly. That happened. You know what I'm saying?
Has it been really proven? And I'm not defending him, but has it been really proven?
I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole. We ain't got enough time. But I'm saying, but what I am saying is, does Chris Benoit deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? For wrestling, yes. But if you take it to the court of opinion, then it can go either way, because a lot of people are going to judge him for his personal demons that he had to deal with. And I think that, outside of us seeing wrestlers, we got to realize that a lot of these wrestlers are people, and they deal with real issues, and they deal with mental health, and they deal with their bodies being broken down, and then them missing their family. And they also deal with a lot of regret. You know what I'm saying? So, we got to realize that they are people as well. And some people have issues that they haven't dealt with, and then when they're thrust into the limelight, do you stay in character of who you are? And I think for wrestlers, it was easier to live life because you can stay in that character and be that person, that character person, instead of being yourself and dealing with all your personal problems. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what we saw a lot. And then, so when it comes to these questions of, does somebody deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, even though they've been champion, even though they made memorable moments, even though they had a killer finisher, even though they was part of some of the biggest groups in history, I guess it's one of those questions that you ask, man. Like,
you can't
R. Kelly, are you